Next comedian that's coming on the stage this evening is from Atlanta, Georgia. I asked him why he got involved in comedy. He said he appreciates laughter. So take a hint. When he's up here, laugh. Please put your hands together for Eric Culverson.
What's up, Tommy Walkers? Thank you so much for coming out this evening. So, hey, raise your hand if you are in a happy, stable relationship. Yeah, see? How does that shit work? Because, like, me, I am like dating somebody new again. This is like my 4th relationship in 3 months. It's like between men and women, there's just always something. There's just a problem, there's some kind of tension. Like, I don't know if God meant for it to be that way, but apparently he's okay with it. Because the Bible tells us that God created Eve from Adam's rib while he was asleep. So later on, Adam wakes up and he says, Lord, I have a pain in my side. And God says, get used to it. So I think that most of the issues between men and women started right there in the Garden of Eden. Because like later on, when Adam finally meets Eve, what's the first thing he says? You owe me. Damn right you're gonna do the dishes. Actually, the scriptures tell us that the first thing Adam said when he met Eve was Hanakim Shalom Benah, which is ancient Hebrew for, you come around here often? So, when you look at it that way, it's not really my fault that these relationships don't work out. Like, I think that you should try to find somebody that you're compatible with. Somebody that, you're both used to opening up and sharing. That's why I try to date women from my, group therapy sessions. I was dating this one woman, and like every time I would drive over and pick her up, all her roommates would just tease her. So like, don't come home too late. Like, she had a curfew. Well, it was a halfway house. I just think that, like, you should try to be with someone that you're compatible with. Someone that you have stuff in common with, and you can go places and do things. Like, I was dating this one chick, and she said that she thought she should lose some weight. I said, okay, fine. Then she asked me if I would go to the meetings with her for Weight Watchers. I said, okay, hey, no big deal. And, it wasn't. Although one time it got kind of bizarre, because we were at the meeting and some genius decides to put out a cigarette in a wastebasket. Well, start smoking, the alarm goes off, people are panicking. It was chaos. I mean, they thought the Weight Watchers Center was going to burn down. And then we realized, hey, it's just a wastebasket. So I went down the hallway to get a fire extinguisher. Right to that little glass case that says, break only in case of emergency. Well, that turned out to be a tray of cupcakes. But, still. Oh, that was such a long setup to get to that. Did I lose somebody along the way? Okay, we're going to shorten that down for you, okay? So, I've been internet dating. Yeah. That's kind of how I feel about it, too. The hard thing about internet dating, you got to fill out a profile, you got to come up with a screen name, something that captures the essence of who you are. Loser, looking to get laid. Yeah, that was already taken. But I'm serious. I couldn't think of a screen name. So I went to this coffee shop, and they had canisters of different flavored coffees, each one with a little descriptive label. Well, one of the labels said dark, that says, your results may vary. The bad thing about internet dating is you just never know who you're going to wind up with. My friends tell me, what you need to do is be more open. So for me, I guess that means I need to date more, I can't just limit myself to black women. I need to date white women. Well, I mean, that's no big deal. I used to date white women all the time, back when I had good credit. But, when I date a white woman, I think there's a predictable pattern. Like in the beginning, everything's great. And they're calling you pet names like Chocolate Thunder. Yeah. But in the end, they're calling you Buckwheat. And as always, what is the big deal about relationships anyway? Why does everybody want to be in a relationship? Because it just seems to me like the longer you're in a relationship, the meaner you get toward each other. I mean, look at my grandparents. They've been together 55 years. And they're a really sweet couple. But when my grandma gets mad, she will fix my grandpa his favorite meal. A big plate of barbecue ribs and corn on the cob and hide his dentures. Does that sound familiar, sir? My grandparents are an example of how relationships change over time. Because back when they're in their 20s, he wanted sex all the time. I mean, anytime the man did something around the house, like unstop a cabinet, stop a sink, fix a cabinet, he's going to need a reward, a little something. Eventually, my grandma figured it was just easier if she took out the trash. But today, 55 years later, it's all different. Because she'll say to him, Harold, it's the first Friday of the month, dear. You know what that means. What am I? A machine? Well, don't be silly, dear. Machines have moving parts. That is my time. Thank you very much. All 6 of you. Thank you so much. Cosie's making her way back to the stage. Fast as she can. Come on, another round for Hope Cosie.
Okay, without further ado. Now, we have one lady on the roster tonight, and